Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode called The Grown Sexy Wisdom Formula. Ooh, I like this title. And today I'm gathered by the incredible Lianna. Hello, Lianna Empowers. How are you doing, my dear? Welcome to the show today.
Hello, Tjibaria. Thank you. And it's a beautiful day, and I'm so happy to see you. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, you are more than welcome. And some of you watching this may be wondering, like, who is this stunning lady who has joined me on the screen today? Well, this lady is the incredible Lianna. She's so wonderful. And I said to her, Lianna, we need to do a live together because what she does for people, she does specifically for women, is unbelievable. So you will want to watch this video until the end. By the way, also, if you get value from this, feel free to share it with your friends and your community. And most importantly, not only are we going to talk about the grown sexy wisdom formula, but also Lianna is actually doing something really special for everyone who watches this or watches this on replay. Is she's got her new book, which we're going to talk about in just a few moments, and you guys can actually get it for free. So I'm going to put a link in the description, and you guys can go grab it. I highly recommend it because Lianna is absolutely incredible and empowers people on the daily. So, Lianna, let's get into it. What inspired you to write this book?
Oh my goodness. What inspired me is that actually my journey my journey to becoming and being at this place in my life right now. I'm a woman in midlife, and I realized that there were so many other women just like me who had reached a point in their lives where you were experiencing a bit of unhappiness. Actually, in my unhappiness, when it started, I went out and bought myself a convertible.
Oh, wow.
So that was exactly, that gave me a bit of happiness in midlife.
Mm,
But it went much deeper than that, and I went on this journey of reconnecting to myself,
mm,
finding out who I was again, and reconnecting to my happiness, my power, and my freedom to create life on my own terms.
mhm,
So I knew there was just tons of women out there. I did a few surveys, and there's so many women in midlife who have lost themselves because we prioritize other people a good portion of our lives. And so it's a matter of finding ourselves again, finding out what makes our, what we're passionate about, what
mhm.
uh, reclaiming our lives at this particular stage of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that really, really much. And what I love specifically about you, and that's why I was like, I really want to have this interview with you and how do you say, get first dips on the announcement of the books in terms of shows or something like that. And some people may be watching, this is not a show. Yes, this is a show. This is my show, okay? Anyways, but to just get you on here today is because you have been so empowering. And for those of you who don't know Lianna, you may want to follow her. She's really, really incredible, and I've been obviously following you for a long time because she's part of our FLC community. And there was a lot of videos that she made that really are just going straight to the core. And I remember particularly in the last bit um, of last year that I was watching some of your videos and I was like, oh man, this lady is so powerful. I need to up my game. And you know, guys, how I always talk about visibility and sharing your wisdom with people and everything. And I was so inspired by what you do and how you help people. And I know as well that you've meant a great deal to a lot of people that you have coached and that you know have helped and have given that wisdom. If for anybody who's watching this now live or will be watching this on the replay, what do you think are a couple of things for them to take into account or some tips? Gogu's being happy as well. Some tips of how you can literally allow yourself to get a better quality of life and to embrace yourself in the way that you are, and you know specifically as a woman to feel empowered and sexy and all of that again, even though you know maybe some parts of your life you're spending more time to the the I say to empower others, right? Without giving
Yeah.
away too much because people should really read the book. But in a nutshell, like what would you say are a couple of tips that you would want to share with the audience today?
A couple of tips are, a lot of times we live life on autopilot. It's like we think life lives us versus us living life. So creating a vision for your life is key. That's a critical thing, because otherwise we live life as a reactionary to life, just going from circumstance to circumstance. But creating a vision allows you to reconnect to your happiness and your power, and will help create freedom.
Mhm.
And because it gives you something to live from, so
Yeah.
that's critical.
Mhm.
um, Another thing is being able to understand what taking action is in life. Taking
I love that.
action, you got
Yeah.
to do something to create something. You got to do something to make got to do something to make it happen.
Yeah.
and and so if you're committed to creating a better life for yourself at this particular stage of the game,
Mhm.
then you got to take the action, and
Yeah.
you need to create some kind of plan to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't agree more. And actually, that's why I love a lot of your content so, so much. It's because my dad speaks about this too. Sometimes people think, and love you, dad. Sometimes people think that once you hit a certain stage of the journey, certain age, or certain, wise status, that means that, okay, then you're old, or then something has happened or has changed, or that you can't take part in the game anymore, you can't change anymore. That's complete BS. Like my dad always says, at any given time, age is just a number, and you can do anything at any age. And as long as you do it, as long as you start taking the action, like you say, and operate from that, you still think, what is it that I want to reach? What is it I want to do? What is my vision? What is my plan? And then take action accordingly. And I
Yes.
think what sometimes people forget is because they think, oh, I have to create a whole plan, I have to take action. There's so much to do, and I'd rather do nothing and stay comfortable. What would you say to those people that feel like taking that first step is really, really difficult? Right? It's actually, and you need to get this book, by the way, guys. Definitely get your hands on the book. She's giving it out for free, only a limited amount of copies. But I'm so grateful, by the way, Lianna, that you're giving free copies to my audience. Really, really appreciate that. So make sure you get yours. But what would you say to people that think that first step is really difficult, whereas actually it's okay, it's not that difficult? Like what would you say to that?
The key to that is taking small steps, because we tend to get overwhelmed if we look at the whole picture, and
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And we start going into all that questioning mode.
Mm-hmm.
It's just taking a step, taking one step. And you don't have to do it when everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Just take a step before you're ready. And
Yeah.
once you start taking those steps, then the things that you want in your life that you desire to create will start showing up for you, because the universe sees that you're taking that action, that first step.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, there's going to be some opportunities and possibilities coming up for you that you may not have ever imagined.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. I love that, and we see it a lot, right? With a lot of people, also within the different communities that we're part of, whereby it's like usually that first step is where everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's going to be so crazy, so unbelievably difficult." But once you actually take it, then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, wait a second, that wasn't so bad." And then, like Liana said, she takes small steps, but as you're taking those steps, you're being rewarded for that, because nothing goes unseen. So if you put in the effort, something's going to happen. And with that as well, a lot of the time, and I think you do this so well, is you can actually overcome some of those scary steps by actually being of service. Would you like to speak a little bit more about that? Because one of the things that is like a common denominator of me following you and watching your work is that you always like go beyond yourself in helping others. And even your videos, like I always feel your videos are like so powerful, and the way how you speak, and the way how a message lands, it's funny, it's nice, it's real, it's raw, and it's just hitting home. So what would you say has been something that allowed you to step over that fear, so to speak, and actually start to empower others and allow that to also gain momentum for you? What was like? How was that part of the journey for you?
Oh, it a lot of it was just learning and being okay with being myself in my imperfection. Like yesterday, I did a video. I was sitting in bed and
Yeah,
I was like, I'm comfortable. Here I am sitting in my room.
yeah,
And this is where I want to share from. It's just about believing in yourself and the fact that we all came here to uniquely express ourselves. And
yeah,
so that's like your birthright. That's something that you own as part of, what you came here to do. And
yeah,
so it's just giving yourself permission to do that,
yeah,
and being of service to others. Oh, that is key too, because I was thinking about this yesterday, because I had a little bit of fear in something that I was doing. It's still there, but you have to use it as a bridge to get to the
yeah,
other side. And so I was thinking, it's not about me, it's about service to others. It's about what your heart came here to do, and, expressing that.
yeah. I resonate with that so much because I don't know if you remember, I shared a story during a lot of the FLC calls whereby I was just about to be called on stage and I had my script and I practice, practice, practice. But then just as the MC started to say like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker is Tjibaria. There's all of a sudden like, do, 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 do. And I was like, oh man. And I was reading the paper and I couldn't see what the words were. Like every word started dancing all of a sudden. I was like, oh my goodness. But then at that point, I remembered those words as well that someone once said to me is that it's not about you, it's about the other people. Even if there is only one person in the audience that listens to your message and gets a little spark from what you've shared and you inspire just that one person, then that's more than enough. That's what it is about. And the same holds for online as well. When you make a video, even though you're in your bed, you're in your pajamas, and you're looking like a normal human being, which we all are, then that is actually really powerful because you also get to show other people that you don't have to be some supersonic diva, whatever, to be able to be really, really amazing and do really good and be very successful because I think sometimes, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this. I am very excited to speak about it. Sometimes things that are depicted on media or social media can sometimes give a little bit of a misinterpreted view or something like we're supposed to be perfect, especially for women, supposed to look perfect, like all these beauty magazines, and we're supposed to be like flawless and all that sort of stuff. And sometimes that plays like it can really mess up with people's minds, thinking that therefore you need to be perfect before you can show your face. You need to be perfect and hair all done. And actually, just as an inside joke, just before we went live, I was like, "Oh, Lianna, I need to quickly do my hair because I like my hair was all a mess. I've had 500 calls today and like that. Like, okay, let me just make myself presentable. But I'm just in my normal clothes and like yeah, you look good by the way, but you always look good.
Thank
But
you.
but the thing is that it's important to just be yourself. Like, what are your thoughts about that? Because I think especially for women, that's an important thing to talk about, and that you don't need to be a celebrity or like diva or anything to be a really incredible Wonder Woman in that way. What do you think?
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I know there's days I come out here on like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and
Yeah.
I'm like bags under the eyes and everything. But it's like, that's you in all your glory. And
Hmm.
not everyone's people like to see that imperfection. They like to see that because it makes them feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, in fact, I was thinking about grown sexy wisdom as you were sitting here talking about, how uh, society tends to look at what you look like on the
Yeah.
outside and everything. But grown sexy wisdom is about all the wisdom that you gained in your life through your life experiences, all those beautiful life lessons that you've learned, the skills that you attained on the job and off the job. And
Yeah.
it's also that's the beautiful practical wisdom you gained in life that is a gift.
Yeah.
And then the other side of it is the divine feminine essence of who you are. The
Mhm.
essence combined with the wisdom is what makes it sexy. And sexy doesn't always have to do with what you look like.
Yes.
Sexy is a feeling, it's
Mm.
a power, it's a confidence. It's that thing. There's nothing sexier than a woman standing in her truth and in her power. And so that's what I wanted to share with that, because people
Love
think
it.
sexy is what you is something on the outside. No, it's that feeling that exists on the inside. It's the essence of who you are.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And by the way, guys, do you see how powerful this woman is when she's like starts talking and like, oh man, I love that. That's like the yes, the essence of ground sexy with wisdom in its purest form. I really love that, and I think it's very powerful. And just for those of you who are just tuning in, Lianna Empowers is sharing a very powerful book that she's just launched, and you guys can grab it for free. So again, big thank you for doing that. I'm gonna put the link in the comments as well as in the description, but also I'm going to put it in the comments, and you will want to grab it. It's amazing. I know her work inside out, and well, I don't even know everything about it, but I'm going to definitely get this book and give it a beautiful read, because yeah, you're so right. I mean, I completely agree that we are a lot more than just like what we look like on the outside, and it's sometimes a bit silly even to think like that's all that matters, because that's sometimes, it feels like everything's being portrayed in that way. But to also think about it, and I wonder what you think, is like we are so much more than just this body. Like we're like a spirit. At least that's what I believe, that the spirit within this, and this is just a temporary form that we have. Just like if I get this piece of, how do you call it, this bottle with cream, it's like there's a bottle and there's cream put into that, and then there's the bottle, right? But then if you like the this, that was not a good example, but anyways, like this thing, this essence, this thing is more than just the bottle, because when you put the cream out of it, it's still the cream. Hmm. Does it ever making sense? Maybe I'm not making sense, but you know what I mean. Like
It's
we're
making
so
sense.
much, it's so much more, and when we start focusing on those things, we can have such a more full life as well, and allow yourself, like you say, to experience life with joy, with power. Like I really love that sentence where you said, there's nothing more sexy than a woman in her power, or something along those lines. I really, really resonate a lot with that. And I actually also wanted to ask you, like, what inspired you to actually this title? Because I know, for those of you who don't know, not only does Lianna have this book, but she also coaches people, and she empowers people from all around the world to actually embrace that as a lifestyle, and to not just be caught up in, it's so easy to after one lovely video you feel like, yeah, but then the next day you feel like, oh, and you go back to your normal routine. But how can you actually embrace the grown sexy wisdom formula into your life, so that you step by step create a happier life, a more healthy life, a more empowering life, and attract all of the abundance that you want into your life? So my question for you is like, how did you actually came up, obviously it came from your own story, but how did you came up with this formula that you're helping and empowering so many women all around the globe with?
Well, it started with me basically looking at myself, and I had a different coaching business a few years ago, and
Mhm.
this actually was part of what I used to teach. It was like mindset and heart set fitness. That's what it was all about. But yeah, it really is a tool to help you reclaim your life, because without it, uh, you tend to not know where to start. You tend to not know, uh, again, what your vision is for your life. We tend to we lose, we don't have awareness of who we are, how we're operating, and how that's affecting our lives, and how it's keeping us in stuck places. And
Mm.
so this was something that I came up with to help people make that journey back to themselves, back to their original nature, their truth.
Oh, yeah.
And
Love how you say
one of my mentors a few years ago, she said, "You know what?" She said, "You're a bridge that helps reconnect people to their truth.
Mm,
And your truth is your heart.
yeah,
That's the core place from which we live. That's our true power. That's our
yeah,
truth. And so it all stems from that place of reconnecting to your happiness, reconnecting to your power, which is your heart, and uh, restoring the freedom with which that is also part of our birthright, but we lose that in the midst of life. We start because of our programming.
yeah,
So that's a large part of why I incorporated this particular formula into
yeah,
the grown sexy wisdom
yeah.
piece.
I love that, and it's so true as well. Like what you say about to connect back to who you were all actually all along, but then circumstances and influences from outside often make us forget how powerful we are, or how beautiful we are, or how amazing we are, and how we have the right or the birthright, as you say, to have the most beautiful life. And that there should never ever be a moment where you think, oh, it's not there for me, or I should just settle for whatever if you're not happy. Because everyone deserves to be happy, everybody deserves to be, you know enjoying their life and feel happy and sexy in their own body, mind, and spirit, and like the whole shebang. And I think what you're doing is really, really powerful, and I am just so grateful that you want to come here and make time in your busy schedule to be here on this show, and to just empower everybody, and also specifically for just your mission, what you stand for, and also how you are as a person, because I also know you a bit closer, and the way how you not just talk the talk but walk the walk, I think is truly inspiring. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend everybody who's watching this right now to listen to this lady, follow her, because she's incredible. So, Lianna, where can people follow you on your different social channels? Like, which channels do you have? What will be the place? You feel free as well after this episode to put it into the comments. But where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those are at Lianna Empowers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
I am on TikTok under Grown Sexy Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, those are the major places you can find me.
Ah, nice. Oh, I want to see what you do on TikTok. The grown sexy wisdom dances, maybe? I'm just kidding. But that would be super, super dope. So, guys, make sure to follow this lady. She's absolutely amazing. Now, before we wrap up, Leanna, what would be the final, most empowering golden nugget that you want to give the audience today on this very special episode about your book, and the whole journey of how you empower people?
I just want to say reclaim your happiness. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and it can tend to get us distracted. But if you stay focused on your goals and dreams and focused on the things you want to create for yourself, it kind of lessens the effect of that, and it's extremely helpful. So just keep putting one foot in front of the other and taking those small steps. Don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed by the process, because it can get you there, take you to a place.
Hmm.
But reach out to the beautiful people like Miss Lovely Tjibaria here, who always is there to support you through whatever it is you're going through, and just create that tribe of people around you that can help take your life to another level.
Oh, that's so, so beautiful. And I couldn't agree more. And as this incredible lady says, surround yourself with very powerful people. So the one person you want to surround yourself with is Lianna herself. Make sure to follow her. But most importantly, get your hands on her book. It's amazing. I know, like, some parts of it, I'm going to read it myself. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I cannot wait to read it this evening. So, guys, get your hands on it. Once again, I'm going to put the link in the description. And also, if you already got the book, then feel free to comment below and after you've read it, and say what's your biggest takeaway from it. And we would always love to know how it helped you and how it made a big difference into your life. So, Lianna, thank you so much once again for being here today on this very special episode and sharing your book for free. Because, by the way, guys, this book is actually a paid book, but she's got a several amount of copies that she's giving out for free, of which a big portion will go out to you guys. So, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. And keep inspiring, empowering the world, Lianna, because you're amazing. And everybody, you will want to watch this woman. She's like taking over the world. So, on that note, we're going to go. If this video has been empowering to you, feel free to give it some love or feel free to share it if you think it may benefit someone else. But most importantly, allow what was shared here that resonates you, that you actually take it on board and actually start implementing it in your life. And the best implementation that I can think of right now is to get Lianna's book. So on that note, we're going to go. Thank you so much, Lianna. Thank you so much, audience. And we see you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Yes, you go, you go. You want to say something? Bye.